What is up, guys? Orbital-Pilot back here once again in the world of Warthunder. This time, taking to the skies in the Yak-3, a Russian Tier 3 plane. That's honestly one of the most overpowered planes in the game. And when I say overpowered, I don't mean unfairly balanced. I simply mean it's just a very, very good plane. Now, I'm going to show you two matches in this video, and the first one is against the Germans, in which I show you what not to do, where I made my critical mistakes, and what you can do to avoid those. And my second one is against the Japanese, where I make all the correct moves, and well, it pays off pretty great. So let's get started right away. Climb to about 4,000 to 5,000 meters, and that's a very, very good starting point for the Yaks. However, this was a very good German team. They climbed higher, which is what the Germans should be doing. Now, as we all know, Yaks lose performance with altitude, and that's not just energy and engine performance. That's also going to affect your maneuver capability. And we can see that right here. Went into a quick turn fight, and because of the Yak's great energy retention, I actually overshoot the BF-109, and it does lead to a couple shells bouncing off my plane. Luckily enough, this plane is made out of stellinium, and, well, stellinium's obviously the hardest thing in the world to shoot at, so it doesn't really affect me. So, where these three Germans did their first mistake is now they're in a true turn fight, a dog fight with a bunch of Yaks. That's a terrible idea. Although the BF-109 performance isn't bad when it comes to maneuverability, it's definitely not as decent as the Yak. So, shoot one down and bounce some more shots, sorry guys, off of my tail. Now, this plane has very, well, it's great. The plane has great durability. And when I say that, I don't really know why. Some Yaks were made out of wood, most of them were. And I don't really understand why this plane deflects shots so well. Now, American 50 cals will absolutely rip these things up, and you will see that a little bit later. So, try to turn into the other German. However, I only get some shots off. So, let's talk about the armament of this plane. This plane is equipped with two 50 caliber machine guns, along with a 20mm cannon. And both are incredibly dangerous. I actually prefer the either tracer belts or the stealth belts for the 20mm, and I prefer omnipurpose for the machine guns. And here's where I make my very first mistake. I pull some negative G's. I think the game is over, so I put my plane in a very low energy state, and a P-47 comes raining down. Now, luckily enough, I didn't die, but as you can see on the left hand side, just about everything is damaged on my plane. So, don't give up now. You know, don't jump out, don't bail out. I'm going to try to go get a couple more kills. So, diving down on more Germans, I don't understand why they were so low. Of course, this could have just been maybe a guy that was ground pounding, but as we can see, easily take off his left wing. And these weapons are very, very dangerous. Like I said, the 50 cals are great with omnipurpose. And if they had a plane with just Russian 50 cals, that would be incredibly dangerous. I don't know what these... Maybe there's no difference, maybe it's just in my head, but the Russian machine guns are just ridiculously powerful, it seems. So, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to go test them, and tell me what you think about them. Are they stronger? Are they weaker? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. So far, I haven't made any crazy mistakes. The only mistakes I've made is put my plane in a low energy state, don't go back up for altitude. Now I'm simply turn fighting, I'm recklessly turning, which means I'm dropping airspeed and altitude, and I'm making myself a very, very easy target. So what you will see in the top right hand corner in a second is a BF-109 who has just stalled out and is turning around. Now, because of him stalling out, I thought he was not going to have enough energy to put any shots into me, but I was wrong. Don't go heads up with planes that you're absolutely not sure you can beat, and that won't happen. So that was my major mistake for that game, although easily fixable. Just don't go head on as much. You know, if you do, take a shot from about a mile out, and hopefully those will hit. So now, against the Japanese, I have climbed actually about the same height as the previous game. However, the Japanese are a little bit below me, and some of them, actually quite a bit of them, are just in my altitude. Now, the Yak3 at this tier will face people such as the J7M, the A6M3, A6M5, very, very dangerous planes if you don't fight them accordingly. So, planes are above you. What do you have to do? Well, I know the J2M is very, very dangerous, especially once it gets boom and zooming, so I need to take it out first. Now, luckily enough, I do turn the plane over and get just enough shots in. As we can see, these new guns are just ridiculously deadly. And I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I know people are going to fight me about this, but I am going to say that this weapon combo is more favorable to me than the Yak3P's 3 cannons. I know that's crazy, but I simply prefer these weapons over the 3 cannons that the Yak3P has. So, light another 0 on fire. That's 2 kills for the day. And right now, I was starting to get a little bit confident. And when I do that, I really stop and think, okay, the game's not over. You don't want to get killed right now, because that is very, very embarrassing when that happens. So, Japanese pilots are very, very good. In fact, they're some of the best in the game. Most people will actually say that they are the best in the game. As we can see here, he doesn't take a head-on. If I had seen what he was doing and I had popped combat flaps right there, I probably would have got him. But here is where I come in. Instead of turn fighting the Japanese, which is what a lot of pilots would do, I want you guys to see what I do here. I simply extend the dive. He's never going to catch me. And I have another friendly pilot right in the vicinity. So, I am simply trying to keep him entertained, and we're going to trade off. And what I mean by that is that he's going to try to, confuse him, and I'm going to try to kill him. If that doesn't work, I will try to, mess around with him, and he will go for the kill. Remember, guys, Warthunder is a team-based game, and you really need to make sure you're playing for the team. So put him into a low-energy state, and yeah, he's done for the game. So, after looking around, I realized that this is really the end of the match. For once, I've actually lived. I'm just joking, guys. The Russians are great. I lived most games pretty much all the way through. So the only thing I must say about the Yak3 is be very, very, very careful on your diving speed. Do not bring it above 440 miles an hour. If you do, you will most likely rip. So if you're going to go in a dive, either A, make sure that you're not going against a plane which can easily outdive you, such as Americans, Germans, some British. Make sure that you turn off that engine also, because A, it will cool down your engine, and you will most likely not rip your wings. So guys, let me bring you back to the hangar, and I will show you what we get. Now, before you guys say anything about the Russians being overpowered, just keep in mind that this is not overpowered. They can easily be killed, and I will have a video coming out very soon. The way Russians are overpowered is that they're very good at a lot of things. So I will show you how to combat that very, very soon. So guys, if you like what you saw, please hit that like and subscribe button. I will see you guys next time.